The NBA thought they fixed the problem with players resting, but here we are just 3 days into the season, and there's already pretty clear evidence that I highly doubt this policy is going to do anything at all. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Brian Sutterer, and my goal in this channel is to help teach you about the medical side of the sports world. And we're going to start off by talking here based on the news that both Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, two of Phoenix's 3 stars, are going to miss tonight's home opener for the Los Angeles Lakers, already bringing into question this player participation policy that was a huge deal to start the season to hopefully get more players playing more games. As Tom Haberstroh pointed out here, this is exactly the situation the NBA is trying to prevent. We've got multiple stars that are sitting, they're playing on the road, and it's a nationally televised game. So this is, like he said, the trifecta of what they're trying to avoid with this policy. But here we are 3 days in. Let's take a look at the actual policy itself, because I think that really highlights where all of these flaws are and why this just isn't going to work. So this is the actual player participation policy, okay? You can get this online, it's publicly available. And if we scroll down towards the bottom here, it's gonna talk about what is done to determine if there has been a violation. All right, so here's the league enforcement. Initial review. A player misses 1 or more games involving these circumstances that we discussed. It's going to initiate one of these reviews. So I'm sure we're gonna see a review come out of this situation. So here's what happens. They do a review of medical information, and they have a former team physician appointed by the NBA, an independent doctor, that makes the determination whether or not the team has shown the following. Essentially, is the team lying to us? Is this a legitimate injury, or is the team just making something up to allow their player to rest? And this is the whole crux of why I don't think this policy is going to work. Because number one, you're asking a physician to say to the NBA that physician doesn't trust what a team's medical staff is saying about the health of their player. And we all know as physicians that this is so subjective. It's always going to be a situation where we trust the medical staff of that team. They know their player better. They know the ins and outs. They're with them every day. There's no way that an independent doctor can simply look at an MRI, look at an x-ray, or look at some clinical notes and say, yes, this is legit, or no, this is not legit. I know I would never want to be that doctor because I would have a very hard time saying that a team was essentially lying because I don't know that situation well enough. I have not been there with that athlete to know exactly their history, how well they tolerate aches and pains, what exactly has gone on. And so I think this is the whole big crux of the flaw, is that you're not going to get independent doctors to say, yep, Phoenix is lying. They're making it up. Devin Booker does not have a heel or a foot injury, whatever it is, and Bradley Beal's back is fine. That goes against a lot of just ethical standards for what a physician would assume when they're not directly involved in the care of that athlete. You might ask, well, can't they just send him an MRI? Can't they look at an x-ray and make that determination? These players at this high of a level have all kinds of incidental abnormalities on their MRI scan. So if we got an MRI of Devin Booker's foot, we're probably going to see stuff on there that could, in the right setting, be causing pain or could be related to an injury. But also we'll see a lot of stuff that's not symptomatic and is just incidental and part of what happens to the body when you're playing high-level sports and as you age. Especially in some of these older players, you are undoubtedly going to see things like meniscus tears, cartilage wear in the joints. You're going to see plenty of things that a team could very well say is causing pain, and you're not going to be able to argue against that as an independent physician reviewing this. And these fines are insane. $100,000 for the first violation and $250,000 and subsequently $1 million. So I just don't see why a team would blatantly lie about something. What's going to happen is they're going to say, well, yeah, Devin Booker has foot soreness. For whatever reason, maybe after the game, he came in the next day, his foot is sore, it's early in the season, team's going to be cautious. Did he break a bone? No. Does he have a Liz Frank tear? No. But he has a lot of pain and soreness that if he continues to play on it might get worse to where he then misses more time or could cause him to develop a more significant injury. And I think the league is having a hard time teasing out the difference between, they think that everybody having pain means they have to have some big official injury. And that's not true. A lot of just what athletes go through on a day-to-day basis throughout the season is dealing with ups and downs in terms of pain that might not specifically be a MCL tear, a meniscus tear, a fracture, a clearly diagnosed injury, but still something that because of the pain they're having limits their ability to safely participate. And that balance is going to be so varied and subjective in terms of what one athlete can tolerate from a pain perspective and what another can tolerate. And that's why I just don't think this is going to work. You're not going to have, like I said, an independent physician come in and tell the Phoenix Suns that they're lying and making this up and that Devin Booker is not actually hurt and needs to play through the potential foot pain that he's dealing with. I think all we're going to see is we're going to stop seeing teams use that rest designation. Now, there are certain circumstances, the age criteria here, which I have no idea where they pulled that data from to say if you're over the age of 35, you get a special exception. Can't think of any medical justification for that. Again, each player has an own individual history that should influence this. So I think we're going to see less players designated as rest, and we're going to see more episodes of just nondescript soreness, back pain, knee soreness, foot soreness, all things that are very legit and expected when an athlete is going through an NBA season that might not amount to a clearly diagnosed 4 to 6 week absence injury, but things that need monitored, things that need attention that if you try and play through might make it worse. These teams are always going to be able to find something that they can use as objective evidence for a little abnormality on a scan or something about the athlete's history to justify why there could be enough concern to sit somebody out and allow them to rest. And so you're going to get a lot of these sort of false concerns and just confusion in the data, because now, before we were able to say this is rest versus this is a true injury, but now everything that might not be a true specific injury that needs a surgery or needs an MRI is going to be classified as such, and we're not going to be able to tease out the difference between when somebody is truly hurt or when somebody is just dealing with pain and literally needs some rest and some reduced workload, because that time is important also. And so it's going to be really hard to just follow all this stuff and know, is this legitimate? Is this not legitimate? Because it's all just going to get lumped together. And again, they're going to do it because they have reasons why they can defend it. And there are plenty of times where people just need some rest. So that's it for the video, everybody. Let me know, as always, your questions, comments, thoughts on this whole matter. Do you like the policy? Do you think it's ridiculous? Let me know down below. Thank you, as always, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.